You know that exhausting feeling when you walk into a networking event and immediately want to leave? When you force yourself to speak up in meetings, even though your heart is racing? Or when you pretend to love group projects, but secretly you dread them? Here's what no one tells you about constant mental gymnastics you're doing to appear more extroverted. You're not broken and you don't need fixing. What you need is something completely different. And it might just change how you see yourself forever. You learn the research backed boundary techniques that introverts around the world are using to protect their energy and thrive authentically. But first, let me share with you what's really happening inside your mind and body when you force yourself to be on all day long. The hidden price you pay for pretending. You know that feeling when you get home after a day of forcing yourself to be on and you feel completely drained. It's like running two apps on your phone all at once, your natural introvert self and an extrovert app, which drains your battery really fast. Your brain has been working double time all day, running two separate programs at once. One program is the authentic self, and the person who naturally processes information slowly and carefully. The other program is the performance version of you, the one who speaks up quickly in meetings and makes small talk at lunch. Think about it like this. Your mind has to constantly monitor how you're coming across, adjust your responses to seem more outgoing, and suppress your natural reactions, all while trying to actually participate in whatever's happening around you. Now, that's four different mental tasks running at the same time. No wonder you feel exhausted. What most people don't realize is that this constant switching between your authentic self and your performing self creates a specific type of exhaustion that goes far deeper than normal tiredness. Consider how your energy works differently than an extrovert's energy. When an extroverted coworker finishes a big presentation, they feel energized and they want to celebrate with the team. When you finish that very same presentation, you need quiet time to recover. While they gain power from social interaction, you are actually losing. Yet society tells you to keep giving what you don't naturally have. You're like a phone that loses battery life from being used. While extroverts are like phones that charge when they're plugged into social situations. Studies show hiding who you are keeps stress hormones very high. Your brain treats forced extroversion like a low level threat. Now, this isn't just feeling tired after a long day. This is your nervous system responding to the stress of constantly being someone you're not. Think about the last time you attended a networking event or spoke up in a meeting when every fiber of you wanted to stay quiet and observe first. Your body was sending you clear signals about what felt natural to it. But you chose to ignore those signals to meet social expectations. Your nervous system treats this constant performance as a threat to yourself, keeping your stress hormones always elevated and your mind in a state of hyper-vigilance. You're always watching yourself, checking if you're being social enough, outgoing enough, confident enough. Now, this internal monitoring system never gets to rest because you never get to be just yourself without worrying about how you're coming across to the others. Imagine having a critique following you around all day, commenting on every interaction and telling you to try harder, to be different than you are. The physical symptoms start showing up too. You might notice tension headaches after social events or your sleep getting disrupted because your mind won't stop replaying conversations and analyzing how you have just performed. These aren't random health issues. They're your body's way of telling you that something fundamental is out of balance. The cost isn't just mental exhaustion, it's the slow erosion of your sense of self, the growing disconnect between who you are and who you think you need to be. You start losing touch with your own preferences, your own thoughts, instincts. When someone asks you what you want for lunch, you genuinely don't know because you spend so much energy focusing on what response would make you seem agreeable or social. You become a stranger to yourself, operating on a script written by cultural expectations rather than authentic desires from within you. You find yourself agreeing to plans you don't actually want to make. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny to you. You volunteer for group projects when you'd rather work alone. Each small betrayal of your natural inclinations, they start adding up. And they create a life that feels exhausting to live because it requires constant performance instead of authentic expression. But here's what might surprise you about why you feel this pressure to change in the very first place. Why society got it all wrong about you. The entire system that makes you feel like something is wrong with you actually has nothing to do with your worth or your potential for success. The preference for extroversion in Western culture isn't based on what actually makes people successful or valuable. It's rooted in deep historical economic shifts that happened over the past century. Here's what really happened to create this pressure you are feeling today. In the early 1900s, America underwent a massive cultural shift from what researchers call a character based society to a personality based one. Before this change, our culture valued traits like steady work, moral integrity, and quiet diligence. These were the qualities that mattered when most people worked on farms or in small communities where reputation was built on your actions over time, not your ability to make a quick, good first impression. As offices replaced farms, social marketing valued assertiveness over quiet reflection, creating an extrovert bias not because it produces better work, but because it was more saleable. Now, this is what researchers call the extrovert ideal, which is a cultural bias that mistakes volume for value and confuses social performance with actual competence. Researchers estimate between one third and one half of people are actually introverts. Yet, business culture still rewards the loudest voice in the room. What's fascinating is that many Eastern cultures actually value the exact traits you possess as an introvert. Deep thinking, careful listening, and thoughtful decision making are seen as signs of wisdom and leadership in many parts of Asia. East Asian studies found lower average extroversion and value on introspection, showing the extrovert ideal is not universal. While Western culture celebrates the person who speaks first and loudest in meetings, Eastern cultures often respect the person who listens carefully and speaks with intention. This shows you that the pressure you feel to be more extroverted isn't universal, nor is it natural. It's a specific cultural programming that developed in one part of the world during a particular time in history. You might find that very traits society tells you to minimize are exactly what many successful leaders possess. Your need for solitude is an antisocial behavior. It's how you process complex information and make better decisions. Your preference for deep conversations over small talk isn't being difficult. It's how you build the meaningful relationships that actually drive business results. Your careful approach to decisions isn't being slow or indecisive. It's how you avoid costly mistakes that impulsive leaders often make, and they can't turn back, and they ruin companies and organizations in a quick, knee jerk reaction. Studies of effective CEOs show that introverted leaders often outperform extroverted ones, especially when leading proactive teams, because they listen more, and speak with greater intention. These leaders create environments where team members feel heard and valued. They don't dominate meetings with their own ideas, they draw out the best thinking from everyone around them. They make decisions based on careful analysis rather than gut reactions, which lead to more sustainable success over time. The rise of remote work and digital communication has actually revealed how much a culture was forcing people into unnatural social patterns that didn't serve productivity, nor did it serve creativity. When companies had to shift to remote work, many discovered that their quieter employees suddenly became more productive and engaged. Without the pressure of constant face to face interaction, introverted workers could focus deeply on their tasks and contribute more thoughtfully to discussions through written communication. The technology revolution has been led largely by introverted thinkers who prefer working alone on complex problems. The most valuable companies in the world were built by people who spent long hours in quiet focus, not networking at cocktail parties. Yet, our culture still pushes the idea that success requires constant social performance and extroverted behavior. Our culture got it wrong because it confused historical economic needs with human value, creating a bias that mistakes social performance for actual capability. The economic conditions that created the extrovert ideal have largely disappeared, but the cultural programming still remains. Understanding this cultural programming is your very first step, but you need practical tools to navigate the reality while staying true to who you are. Let's talk about the boundary blueprint that can change everything about how you work. Here's the boundary blueprint broken down into 4 quick steps that will transform how you navigate social and professional situations. Step 1: Energy budgeting. So here's how you do it. Treat your social energy like a finite resource you consciously allocate rather than randomly spending throughout the day. Psychological studies on brain activation show that introverts process social information very differently, requiring more mental energy for the very same interactions that energize extroverts. Think of your social energy like money in your bank account. You won't spend money without checking your balance first, would you? Yet, many introverts spend social energy without any awareness of how much they have and how much different activities is going to cost them during the day. Before any social situation, ask yourself 3 specific questions. How much energy do I have right now? Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 so you have a clear picture of your starting point. How much will this likely cost me? Consider factors like the number of people, type of interaction, how long it will last, and what will I need afterward to recharge. So plan your recovery time, just like you plan the social activity itself. This simple assessment prevents you from overcommitting and ending up completely depleted and exhausted. Step 2: Quality socials. Research shows introverts shine in smaller groups. So choose fewer, more meaningful conversations rather than trying to work the entire room or please everyone in the office. When you attend a networking event, aim for 3 genuine conversations instead of collecting 20 business cards. When you're at work, focus on building strong relationships with key colleagues instead of trying to be friends with everybody. This approach helps you conserve energy while actually building better relationships because people remember meaningful interactions more than brief small talk. Step 3: Strategic positioning. So, collaboration studies reveal that introverts perform better when they can control the environment and timing. So, arrive early to events when your energy is high and the crowd is smaller. Now, this gives you time to settle in and have quality conversations before the chaos begins. Choose seats near exits for easy breaks when you need time to just step away for some fresh air or a moment of quiet. Schedule important conversations when you're at peak energy levels, not at the end of a long social day when you want to just have some time out. Step 4. Graceful exit phrases. So master the art of respectful yet self-protective exit by having prepared phrases that honor both your needs and the other person. So instead of making excuses or lying about why you need to leave, try phrases like, I want to give this conversation the attention it deserves. So can we continue this tomorrow? Or you can say something like, I've really enjoyed talking to you and I want to process what you've shared before we continue. Now, these responses show respect for the other person while still protecting your energy needs. You can also apply what Harvard Business Review found out about introverted CEOs who lead best by listening carefully. Contribute to group discussions through thoughtful questions rather than trying to dominate the conversation. Offer to help with planning or behind the scenes work at events instead of being the center of attention. Use your natural listening skills to make others feel heard and valued. Create buffers around social activities to protect your energy. Schedule downtime before important social events so you arrive refreshed rather than already depleted. Block out recovery time after social activities so you recharge without feeling guilty about needing space. And communicate these needs clearly to people in your life using direct statements, polite but still direct, about what you need rather than making excuses. Now, these four main big steps, which I just explained to you, work because they honor your natural energy patterns instead of fighting against them. When you protect your energy consistently, you show up as your very best self in the interactions that matter most. You're not building walls, nor are you becoming antisocial. You're creating a sustainable way to engage with the world that feels true to who you are rather than exhausting yourself trying to be someone else. Finally, the world needs what you naturally offer as an introvert: your deep thinking, your careful listening, and your thoughtful approach to decisions create value that loud voices can never replicate. You have everything you need right now to stop the exhausting performance and start living as your authentic self. This week, pick just one of these four steps: energy budgeting, quality over quantity, strategic positioning, or a graceful exit phrase, and try it in one meeting. Notice how much easier it feels for you. Protecting your energy means you can leverage your deep thinking and your thoughtful approach, things the world truly needs. Imagine if you could engage with the world authentically, protecting your true energy and thriving on your very own terms. You deserve that freedom, and now you know exactly how to create it. And I wish you the very best in your journey. Thank you.